So guys, welcome to this new Dota patch 7.0, 7.0, whatever you want to call it. I just looked over it a little bit, so I'm gonna go over the changes. I won't go so much through the new hero, the new HUD, and the new pregame, but we'll look more at the gameplay and overall like what's really going on. So I was just in the practice mode, and the shop looked easier to use, at least once you get used to it. So that was nice. And here you have a new pregame, which kind of looks really cool. But as you can see here, pick phase and strategy phase. From what I understood, they're trying to make the game more structured and easier and better for everyone involved. So we'll have to see how that goes. Then you have a strategy phase, as it says here. Once you've locked in a hero, start planning your lanes and ward spots. Purchase starting items, change your hero loadout and more. After everyone has selected the hero, you'll have 30 seconds of guaranteed strategy time to make final preparations and item purchases while the game finishes loading into the background. So as you can see, you can choose your lanes, you can try to predict their lanes, and you can already click on the map as to where you want your wards to be placed. I think this is really cool. I think this is really good. These are the gameplay changes. It starts with the hero talent tree. Every hero will have unique talents for themselves, whereas you get them at 10, 15, 20, and 25. 25 are hero-based talents. Like the 25 is just unique for the hero, like it changes your skills. So here it starts with the general things. Death cost reworked. Old, 30 times hero level. New, 100 plus net worth divided by 50. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. And now we have AoE gold. I think this is gonna be pretty interesting. But it is indeed, it is also gonna be, so you get less gold AoE. You get less gold for kills, single kills as well, and streaks, and you get less XP. And then we have something called a backpack. How I am understanding this, before even realizing, items like BKB, you will use them, and then after it's over, you put them in your backpack and switch them out for another item. You're gonna put the most common items I can think of now that you're gonna put there is a teleport scroll, perhaps consumables, BKB, and heart. Like, let's say you're sieging high ground, and you just put heart in your backpack because you can have your full inventory plus a backpack, right? You stop sieging for 20 seconds, you put in the heart, you reach into full, you put it back in your backpack, considering you're that farmed. Let's say you have a BKB, you can just buy a 7th item now. In a team fight, you use your BKB, you swap out those items real quick, and then 6 seconds later, it works, right? That should work, right? Like you have 9 item slots now. And then you have Shrine. You have a new building type called Shrine. They give a lot of gold, but now fighting near the secret shops is not what you want to do, unless there's skills on cooldown. Pushing base is harder because people have a pseudo fountain region, and offlaners or roamers can use the spot, or farmers while they farm. So this is interesting. Not sure what to think of it. Neutral changes. So instead of the neutrals respawning every minute, it will be every 2 minutes. Dying to neutral creeps now cause your hero to have a minimum respawn time of 26. Perfect. I like this change a lot. Ancients are no longer spell immune, but they now have a magic resistance. I like this too, because now you can use, you can still kill it. Like some heroes can kill it with their spells now, which I think should be possible. Like you shouldn't kill it fast. But you should just be able to damage it. New Ancients. Added a new Ancient neutral camp. 2 Prolar Acolytes and 1 Prolar Shaman. Prolar Acolyte provides a stacking aura. Provides 10%... Oh. But you can't take... This makes Chen... This is a buff for Chen. Just throwing out there. Using TP scrolls no longer destroys nearby trees. That is cool. Glyph cooldown refresh is now granted 1 second after a tier 1 tower dies rather than immediately. I like that because now you can't misclick it. Root mechanics. Root now disables the following movement spells: Burrow Strike, Waveform, Blink Strike, Phantom Strike, Reality Rift, Pounce, Skewer, Ball Lightning, Timber Chain, Rolling Boulder, Icarus Dive, Leap, Poof, and Time Walk. Holy shit, that is a huge fucking deal. Because we will get into it later, but there's an item that now juxtapose PL ulti. Understood. This is a huge deal because there's a new item that applies root. You can't... Oh, I don't know about this, man. It didn't disable any of these before, right? The following skills are no longer undispellable. So you can now purge these spells: Soul Catcher, Stampede. You can purge Recall. You can purge Windrun of Windrunner. I don't like this at all. Are no longer undispellable, which means they are now dispellable. How the you can't make Windrun dispellable, dude. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Insatiable. Hunger is no longer dispellable. This is really good. Brood's ulti used to be dispellable. I think this was super garbage. Max movement speed increased to 550. I don't know why this would... turn rate cap increased by 15%. Turn rate ramps up over time as you start turning. The max values that it reaches while you turn are increased by 15%. Not the initial value or acceleration/deceleration rate. So it takes you 15% longer overall to turn. That's another buff to Bad Rider, by the way. Sticky Napalm makes it even worse now. Lane creeps now get 50% of experience when denied by neutral. Offlane keeps getting better and better, dude. The following abilities now use pseudo-random distribution. I don't exactly know what pseudo-random means. I know there's two types of random. I think there's true random, where let's say your chance is 20%, then every hit will have 20%. But I believe pseudo-random is that, let's say your first chance is 8% to proc it, and you didn't proc. The next hit you will have more than 8% chance, and then you will have more than that, and more than that, and more than that, until you proc it, and you go 8 to 8%. Moonglaive no longer gets boosted by spell amplification. Oh, that is interesting that even worked. Cleave no longer gets boosted by spell amplification. Also interesting that worked. Spell Lifesteal does not trigger heal for things that don't receive spell amplification. Moonglaive Cleave, that is also interesting that worked. We are moving on to the items. Woo, bitch. Aether Lens, cast range bonus increased from 200 to 220. Cost increased by 50. I will take that. This is a buff. I would take this any time of the day if I liked Aether Lens. Assault Karaz, self attack speed reduced by 15, but the aura increased by 5. Yeah, probably take it as a buff. It's less for... Oh, it's 5 less, not 15. Excuse me. It's definitely a buff. If you want to take simple math, if one hero is close to you, your overall attack speed value gain is the same. You get 5 less, but your one teammate gets 5 more. But then maybe you have more teammates there, so overall I would say it's a buff. Oh, actually, excuse me, because you also gain the aura attack speed, right? Like, you gain the self-attack speed, and you also gain your own aura. Bloodstone no longer reduces respawn time to less than 1 second. I believe this makes things like Timbersaw chaining to a tree, killing himself, coming back. Crimson Guard. Passive block chance reduced from 100 to 50. Passive block amount increased. So here, it is a buff. You have half chance of blocking, but you will block more than... You will get a more than double damage block when you proc it. Also, the activatable damage block increased by 5, and it affects buildings. So, it is very good now for defending your high ground, or just defending your towers, actually. It's very interesting. Diffuse Blade can only target enemy nows, cannot self-target, but can it still target your teammates is the question. I assume no. Mana Break on Illusions reduced from 2010 to 16.8. Good. Mana Break on Heroes increased from 40 to 50. Why? Diffuse Blade damage per mana burn reduced from 100 to 80. Your damage stays the same, the mana burn goes up, it's less for illusions, and you can't target on yourself. You can jungle with clarities now. You guys are right. They won't be dispelled by creeps. That is a massive change. Dragonlance gets a -1 strength. I'll be happy with that. And now Drum, reworked item. Swiftness aura is now a 20% movement speed aura. If I'm not mistaken, the swiftness aura of the old drums was 3% movement speed and 5 attack speed. Now instead it's 20% movement speed, which is a pretty big buff, because the activatable is still 13% plus move speed or something like that. So, in my opinion, this is a big buff. Now, you lose 3 intelligence and you won't get any more HP regen, but you will get some mana regen from the item now. Sorry, I must have said it wrong here. You get a plus 20 movement speed as an aura. But when you use the item, I believe the activatable is a percentage movement speed. Which you will see in a second. I must have said it wrong. I meant that the activatable has, I believe, a percentage stat. We will check that out real fast. Regeneration increased from heart from 475 to 7%. That is a big increase. You might, I don't know, I feel like we'll see this item in people's backpacks or some shit like that. So let's buy, this is the new shop. Let's buy the new drums. This is what I was talking about. So, you now get a 20 move speed aura. As you can see, my move speed is 310. I drop the drums, it's 290. I pick it back up, I'm back to 310. And now, so, you get a 20 movement speed aura. That's already a lot, passively. This item gives you 20 movement speed. Now, when you use the item, the effect, you have 6 charges, you get 25 attack speed and 13% move speed. This item is crazy good now. I think this item is way better now than before. People actually move a lot faster. Heaven's Halberd sadly did not get the buff that I would have liked, because I think the item is very weak. It got a 1 second slow duration and 4% higher chance of proccing that slow. Infused range of the cooldown increased from 6 to 7 seconds. I think this item needed a bigger nerf, but what can you do? Iron Talon increases a percentage, no longer increases percentage based. It now gives you plus 24 and 7 bonus damage. This also affects Quelling Blade, but not Battle Fury. Alright. Bonus damage now works against Roshan, cooldown increase. So the item level 1 pretty much gives you the same damage, flat, but the more damage you get, the more of a nerf this is. And then the cooldown of Iron Talon was increased. Road of Atos was reworked, and now listen up. It applies a route preventing the target from moving for 2 seconds. Remember the changes at the start of the patch that I'd read. There's a lot of new spells that now are prevented from using by being rooted, like Void. Void couldn't time walk away. I think Anti-Mage couldn't blink away. I think Mirana couldn't leap away. Sand King couldn't stun away. And Storm Spirit couldn't even zip out. So you apply a 2-second route. Cooldown was increased from 10 to 16. Cast range reduced from 1200 to 1k. And it now uses a projectile, which I will try to show you how the projectile looks and how fast it is, so you can sort of try to imagine how easy / hard it would be to actually hit people. Mind you, this is the new interface. So now I have Rod of Atos. This is gonna be my opponent axe. This is my cast range. It's 1k. It's quite big. And it has a projectile now, and it looks like this. And that's how fast it is. And now, after I do that, they can't move for 2 seconds. It's quite a big deal. Let's move on, though. Oh, I skipped Radiance, I think. The Radiance damage increased. Radiance got a damage increase from 50 to 60, and Radiance damage illusions went from 50 to 40. So while your normal holder was increased by 10, your illusions in the end got a pretty big nerf. Now you have Vanguard. You also lose the proc, passive block amount. I think this is a buff now to Vanguard. It's, how should I say, it's worse versus creeps, but it's better versus heroes, I think. Because now you don't always block from creeps, which is a big deal. This makes summons better, I believe. Well, it depends on which summons.